Hi there. I've met with all the project groups and had good conversations about what is ahead for you. And I talked about possibly making some changes to the submissions regarding the final project. Nothing has actually changed in the project. It's just how you're going to submit your work that has changed. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes and explain that to you. So I created this drawing because I'm such a visual person to help the explanation of what's happening with your group project. So at this point, everybody is in a group and has identified a problem. And ultimately, the hope is that you've come up with some essential question. And this has not been formally requested, formally documented, but everybody should think of a question that you're going to be answering for your product or project. And that essential question should not have a yes or no response. It should be open-ended and answer some question that says how. For instance, if there is a problem within special education, building relationships, or collaborating with general educators. The question might be something like, how can general educators and intervention specialists collaborate more effectively? What tools might help with this? That might be an example of an essential question. So once you've come up with your problem and your question, you're going to start researching. Your research needs to include at least 10 sources, and that would be a minimum. You want to think about possible experts that you can consult or interview or talk to. You're going to want to think about different organizations that might have information on their websites. You also want to consult journals for this. You're going to compile all that information, and that assignment is due on November 15th and is worth 50 points. Now from there, once you do that, you're going to start creating your product. And your product is worth 100 points, but what I've done is I've broken it down into 4 assignments for the product. All of them are due on December 4th. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to submit your product, and then you're also going to create a video presentation of your product. You're going to submit the video presentation of your product to Go React. Now previously I had peer reviews done in Go React for your presentation product, but this is what's changed. So you're going to submit your product separately, your presentation separately, and then you're going to submit them same thing to a discussion board. So only one member of the group has to submit it to a discussion board, and then you're going to do peer reviews of at least 3 of those presentations. And then the final piece of the project is a participation peer evaluation. You're going to be giving points for participation. The goal is always to have equal participation or contribution for group projects. And that is where I will see that, and I will give participation points based on those peer evaluations. So you might be thinking, where do I find all these assignments related to this project? So you're going to scroll down and you're going to click on Hazel where it says project. And from that, it will take you to the project. And from that point, you will see all of the assignments. The research and investigation is due November 15th, as I mentioned. And the rest of the assignments related to the project are due on December 4th. So you're going to submit the actual product. You're going to submit your presentation for your product. You're going to share both of those things in a discussion board and comment on that. And then you're going to complete a Google form about participation within the project. I also wanted to remind you about the key assessment that is due in this course. The key assessment does not relate to your project. I know the 2 assignments related to the key assessment were in the project module, but I have moved them to their own module now. The first thing, we started off the course thinking and learning about cultural responsive practices. And there's another group of readings related to that that is due on November 8th. And then your key assessment involves a case study where you're going to create an action plan for doing an IEP meeting. I'm also, sometime between now and November 22nd, I'm going to have a live session that you can voluntarily participate in, where we'll have some discussion about culturally responsive practices and how they relate to your role as an intervention specialist. So keep your eyes posted for that announcement. So that's all for now. I hope this video announcement has been helpful. Have a good weekend.